Good morning, everybody. Monday motivational starting about almost 2 hours late. So, uh, this does not mean that my whole week is going to go down the tubes, but have you ever had one of those days you get up, you've got your plan all set, and then nothing is working? I started out here. We're in southern Indiana, by the way, and we have that white stuff outside. I looked out the window and there's snow on the ground. Uh, just a couple days ago, it was like 50, 60 degrees. I was loving it. But anyway, I always blame the snow for, any kind of tech glitches. I just think those optic lines, they just don't like it. Just who knows? But anyway, so then I was struggling with my computer, wouldn't connect to the internet, but here I am. And this is just a great lesson. Every day, every week, we make plans. We have big picture goals of what we're trying to accomplish, but then we get sidetracked. And if that's ever happened to you, join the club. It happens to all of us. But what usually happens, we get sidetracked and we forget to get back to what our focus was, or we might get so frustrated, we give up. So many scenarios. Here's the deal. When you map out your day, map out your week, even if things come along and kind of bump the priorities, you still have that plan. And most of all, you have that focus of what you are trying to accomplish for the day and for the week. Let me share my screen here if I can bring up this. Now, I talk about this every week. If you're new watching this, just super brief breakdown. This is just a simple little spreadsheet. I'm happy to share it with you that helps me plan my week at a very high level. And I'm not going to go through everything, but I focus on what am I offering, whether it's a lead magnet or something that I'm selling for the week. And I build the whole week around there. Do I have specific life events, family events that I'm focusing on for the week? And then most of all here, the business events for the week. Am I, speaking someplace? Do I have any like outgoing, activities that I'm involved in, things like that. But this is where the magic begins. Productivity experts say we should only be focusing on three major activities for the day. Now, that does not take into account the administrative stuff that we're working on, but let me give you a little hint here. I'm going to come back for a quick second, look at you eyeball to eyeball, especially if you're an entrepreneur or creative. Uh, we kind of fool ourselves that we're working so hard, we're so busy. But if we track our time, get a sheet or something to track what you're actually spending your time on. If it is not money making activities, in other words, things that only you can do, uh, you either need to outsource it or you need to put a time limit on it. So let me take email, for instance. Are you hopping in and out of email all day long? You need to stop that. You need to set a timer, 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at night, and that's it. Don't get into your email other than those two times. And I know everybody's like, yeah, but what if somebody needs to get a hold of me? What if? Let me ask you something. If you tried to contact your dentist or, a doctor or anyone else that runs their business by appointments, can you just pick up the phone and call the doctor? Or can you send an email and actually talk to that person? No, you have to make an appointment, all that kind of stuff. So with our email, we train our people. And if you get tons of email, especially from clients or leads, things like that, you need to train them and say, hey, thanks for responding. I check my email twice a day. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. When I used to teach at the university with my students, I set expectations. I'll respond back to you within 24 hours or 48 hours so that people know that, okay, this is how I work. You have to train them. Don't let them train you. So got off topic just a little bit, but let me explain to you again. What we're doing is identifying what are the three main activities the one must do. So when we get side railed, so here it is almost 10:30 in the morning, and I'm like 2 hours behind of my top three things that I'm working on for the day. Maybe the last one gets bumped off. Okay. No sweat. I'm just move it to the next day, but I've got that big picture for the week as far as what I'm focusing on. So let me share my screen again here. So, as we're planning our week, what are the top three things? And for my week, what I'm working on, and I said, I share this. This is raw data here. I'm doing it live. So I'm working on a client website and I hope to get that finished today. So that is my number one priority, regardless of anything else that I'm working on. The next thing is I'm actually working on my own website, and I do have a time commitment for that, which I'll talk about in a minute. So it's higher up on my list. Now, of these two activities, my client website, of course, I'm getting paid to do that. So that's a money making activity. My personal website, Starr Consulting, in the long run, it is a money making activity. So it is important. There's some other money issues connected with it, which I'll talk about in just a second. So these two things are very high priority for me. Now, here's another tip. Don't feel like, especially if you have heavy projects and goals that you're working on, don't feel like that you have to front load everything. I have a tendency of doing that also. It's like, let me just buzz through these 20 things, but that just means burnout. Okay. So then we just move something. So tomorrow, what do I want to focus on? And actually tomorrow I am going to be focusing on the finishers circle. What do I want to call this? Reach out to group members. So I'm just going to be doing a little bit of testing to see how many people will be interested in joining a small, low price membership called Finisher Circle to actually help you get things done. Now, after I get off of this, I'll kind of take a few minutes and just map out the rest of the week. The other days, I'm not going to go too heavy because I'm focusing on this. And I haven't filled this out. Usually I do, but because I'm running behind with everything else, I'm just kind of glossing over it. But once you know what your product or your offer focus is for the week, then it helps you kind of prioritize all of these things. All right. Now, I mentioned with my website that it's a money-making activity in two aspects. And what do I mean by that? Of course, if you're not growing your business, if you're not growing leads every day, then your business is just going to stagnate. Now, do you have to have a website? You need someplace. It's the modern business card. So you need someplace, even if it's just a landing page. Actually, a landing page with a really juicy lead magnet like a custom GPT is the best way to bring people into your circle. But if somebody says, what do you do? What are your prices? What are your offers? You still need someplace to direct them to. So it is money making in that sense. The other thing is I have a spreadsheet. Let me share this spreadsheet with you. Now, this is a very simple one. I've got another one that's just a little more complex, but basically it's like a checkbook register. On one side, you enter all of the expenses, and then it turns out a profit loss statement here. So you can see up to the minute how much money is going out, how much money you've made. So if you don't do anything else in your business, make sure that you're using some kind of a simple system to track your income and your expenses. And this is one thing that I give my Digital Business Academy members. I also sell it on Etsy. It's pretty inexpensive. It's under $20. I can't remember how much it is. But I also have something called reoccurring items, monthly and annual. You'll save money if you can afford to buy something annually. Okay. So right now I'm using, I'm a tech nerd. So I have several, several different software systems that I'm constantly testing and stuff. But the platform that my website lives on actually lives on another platform that I'm kind of phasing out. I'm just going to say website platform, and the annual price of that is $9.97. Okay. Well, the reason, let me come back here for a quick minute. That annual membership is coming due, and I'm actually rebuilding my website on another platform, Go HighLevel, my favorite platform. So the urgency is on because it's going to cost me $997 if I don't transition my website over to the new site. Do you see where I'm going here? When we are mapping out our activities, what's our focus for the week? And if you're inside my Digital Business Academy, we focus on like the quarters. What are you trying to accomplish for this quarter, and then this month, and then this week, and so forth. Inside of my finishers circle, we're going to be doing this month at a time. So if you need a little kick in the butt to help you get something accomplished, you'll want to check that out. But anyway, so this is definitely a money-making activity for me, and time is of essence, and I think we all work better under a little pressure. Should have rebuilt it last month, and now I've got like 2 weeks to get it finished. So, hey, reach out and ask me to see the new one, and I'll share the link, and you can help keep me accountable there. So let me just come back to this spreadsheet again. So with this spreadsheet, what I like to do is, and there's a lot of things, it's Black Friday, it's coming up to Black Friday time. And so a lot of times you get some good deals. Last year, well, I think it was even before last year, I purchased, it's like a podcast software. Um, and they had a great Black Friday deal, but I'm really not using it that much. So I'm thinking I need to just either go down a tier on that or just get rid of it. Why am I even talking about all of this stuff? These are decisions that, as the CEO of my business, I've got my thumb on, or, checking the pulse of my business and the financial aspect. And so you just need to take time and review these things. And because I know that a lot of the software I purchased during Black Friday specials, I just need to decide, okay, is this something that I want to keep? And again, it might be a monthly amount or an annual amount. If you can purchase annually, it's always a lot better because usually you'll save about 20%. This spreadsheet is nice. This is just the template that I sell here, but you could put details. So you might say, so this one renews, we'll say 10, 30, 25. Okay. And then I could put like the website of where it renews, all of that kind of stuff. So then it just gives me a good view of how much money I'm spending every month. And sometimes when you do this, you probably should do this 2 or 3 times a year, kind of take stock of the money going out, especially those things you've signed up for. And you might realize, man, I have been paying these people for 5 years and I've never used something. Okay. So it's just a good way to do a quick audit of that. And then down here, it just gives you a quick prorated monthly. And if you were like this here, this website software, it prorates to 83 a month. The actual annual is 997. Let me just put in another figure so you can see the totals. Okay. So it just gives you that running total. And then again, with the profit and loss, you can see up to the minute what the income was coming in, the expenses going out, and you can kind of track, where the majority of your money is going to. Okay, so let me jump back in here. So this isn't a session to teach you about using that, but as I've said in some of my other Monday motivationals, I'm planning my week and I'm not going to let snafus dictate, just like today. This was still on my list. This is important to me because doing this Monday motivational helps me. And I made a commitment to myself that every Monday I'm going to hop in here. So sorry if you set your clock and you were waiting anxiously for me at 8:30, but at least I fulfilled that open loop in my mind and I was able to accomplish this. And so then I prioritize what I'm working on. And regardless of how the rest of the day goes, if I keep bumping up to things, I've got a very clear focus and I just keep this in front of me. I get distracted, come back, I know what I'm working on. So that's what I'm working on this week. If you happen to catch this on the replay, let me know in the comments, what are you working on this week? Tell me the number one goal that you're working on, and let's cheer each other on. All right. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Monday. Take care.